What's up guys, my name is Eduardo and today's video is a video tutorial on the Sissy Squat. If you're unfamiliar with the Sissy Squat, it's a squat variation where you hold a plank while you come down. And while you come down, your heels come off the floor. So it kind of looks like the Matrix, but you're holding a very strict plank by squeezing your stomach and squeezing your butt. So in this video, I'll show you progressions on how to work up to it and the strength and flexibility required for you to get into that position. So let's get started. Since the Sissy Squat is a squat variation, you want to get really comfortable just performing a regular body weight squat. As you come down, you're really just trying to get the full range of motion and getting comfortable on the bottom of the squat. Then you can start exposing yourself and your knees to coming up on your toes, and just makes it a little bit more knee dominant. This way, when you get into the Sissy Squat and start working towards it, it won't be as rigorous. From there, gradually move on through different progressions and different ranges of motion. Because the Sissy Squat itself is not too complicated, it just might be a little difficult to start off with. So, Sissy Squat, squeeze your stomach, squeeze your butt, and all you're gonna do is lean forward slightly without arching your back, trying to avoid this motion, because then you can't really squeeze your abs. Keep them tight and lean forward slightly, let your heels come off the floor. Then little by little, gradually make your way lower, just until you're comfortable. You don't have to go crazy far to start. Little by little, go further and further. When you reach a sticking point, use something like a stack of books, pillows, to navigate where you want to go. You're coming forward here. Abs and glutes are always tight, trying to avoid coming up or coming down with a worm-like motion. What might happen as you start getting lower, you'll reach your limit, you'll lose balance, or your hips will drop. And that usually happens as you get lower. So then lower whatever surface area you're using. Something sturdier will be more useful. With a pillow, you can kind of sink in. So use a stack of books or something like that. But as you get to your bottom of the Sissy Squat, this might happen. And that's okay. Use it as a negative. You can go all the way down and then fold back up. Gradually building up the strength to get comfortable with that. Then you can use a prop. Squeeze your stomach, squeeze your butt. Come down as low as you can. Hold it. Squeeze everything. Push into the couch or whatever elevated surface that you're using to help you out. Once you no longer need assistance, it's the same thing. I like to bring my hands out here and then pull them up, squeezing your stomach and squeezing your butt the whole time. So here are some variations to help you improve the strength, flexibility, and overall body awareness for the Sissy Squat. You'll want to have a good squat first, so use an elevated surface like a couch or a pole and work on getting a deep squat and holding that position and keeping your chest tall. When you're comfortable with that, then you can start moving on and working on the flexibility in the bottom position of the Sissy Squat, like the Seiza, and hold, rock back and forth, getting comfortable flexing your toes like that. Then you can start pulsing with your hands on the floor to get a bigger stretch, and this also includes your calves, your ankles, and then you can start experimenting with going wider and so many different things you can do. The more you lean back, the bigger of a stretch it'll be on your hip flexors, including your quads. And on the way up, it'll build a lot of strength from coming up from that really extended position. So a couple things you can do are matrix squats, where your legs are just a little bit closer together, but your glutes are tight, your abs are tight, you rock back, and then you pull back up with your hip flexors. So you're gonna feel a big cramp in your quads. The important thing here is to squeeze your stomach and squeeze your glutes. You're basically performing a Sissy Squat, but on your knees. Now I know in this first minute I kind of ran through all of these progressions, so take your time. Make sure that you have adequate flexibility, adequate strength before attempting all of these movements. But once you're comfortable with these and you've experimented with a little bit, start experimenting by putting them together. Use the squat with a Seiza position and then coming up on your toes and then going back and forth between these two positions to expose your weaknesses, expose your strengths. These are hack squats where you can really sink low and experiment by going wider, and you'll feel a big groin and adductor stretch. Now, if anything is painful, please do not attempt it. A lot of this stuff is very knee dominant, and it's very useful to build strength in the knees and the quads. But if you're not prepared for that, it could be very dangerous. So please gradually build up to these progressions. So just to recap, the two positions are the squat and the Seiza. And you can go back and forth between these by working squat on your toes and then coming down into that Seiza position and experimenting with the different variations that you used in the beginning, like the hack squat to the matrix squat. So now it's just all about having fun with it, experimenting with the different progressions that you can do, and expose yourself to those crazy ranges of motion to build up the endurance, build up the strength, and build up the flexibility to get comfortable in the Seiza, as well as the squat, very dominant on your toes. And when you feel good, try a Sissy Squat. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this one. Until next time.